Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. My name is T.S. Sudhir, and you're watching Study with Sudhir, your own digital classroom. In this episode of the SWS Natu Natu series for the board exams of 2024, I'm going to show you two specimens of formal and informal letter, one each. Also, to tell you what exactly should be your approach as far as formal letter and informal letter is concerned. Now, I have done videos on both formal letters and informal letters, in fact, more than one video. So you could go and have a look at what is the format. But more than the format, please remember one thing. In letter writing, and let me say this both in English and Hindi, in letter writing, you are awarded marks. For the format, there are some marks, but much more important is your content, and even more important is the expression that is used. आपको जो नंबर मिलते हैं वो फॉर्मेट के मिलते हैं कि किस तरह से एड्रेस लिखा है, कि सैल्यूटेशन ठीक है या नहीं, सब्सक्रिप्शन ठीक है या नहीं, लेकिन उससे ज्यादा मार्क्स इस बात पर निर्भर करते हैं कि आपका कंटेंट क्या है, क्या सही मैटर का इस्तेमाल आपने किया है, कि कहीं सही पॉइंट्स आपने बताए हैं, और दूसरी बात कि आपका एक्सप्रेशन कैसा है. जब मैं एक्सप्रेशन की बात करता हूं, मेरा मतलब है कि आपकी भाषा कैसी है, ग्रामेटिकल एरर्स है क्या, स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक्स है क्या, टेंसेस में आपने फेरबदल किया है कि पास्ट टेंस से आप प्रेजेंट टेंस से फ्यूचर टेंस में आप गुलाटी मार रहे हैं, राइट. तो यहां पे बंदरों वाला काम नहीं करना है. यू हैव टू स्टिक टू द सेम टेंस. इफ यू स्टार्ट विद द प्रेजेंट टेंस, स्टिक to the present tense. Don't jump tenses. That I find is the most common problem among students. So you need to take care of these things. Content, especially when it comes to the formal letter. If you are writing a letter to the municipal commissioner, it is very important that one, your tone needs to be formal. वो आपका चाचा नहीं लगता है, वो आपका दोस्त नहीं लगता है. It is an official relationship that you have with him as a citizen of that particular town or city. So when you are writing to the police commissioner or the municipal commissioner or a minister or the mayor of the city or the principal, you need to have a formal tone and your point should be very clear. The first paragraph needs to immediately tell why are you writing this letter. He will be getting 1000 letters. He's not going to have the time if you just talk about, how are you, I hope you are doing well. No, those kind of lines are not needed in a formal letter. In fact, not so much even in an informal letter. But formal, definitely no. And then you need to get to the point. The second paragraph has to talk about the two problems that you are mentioning. The third paragraph has to mention the solutions to those two problems, and then you close the letter. Informal letter, since you will be writing to your brother, to your mother, your father, or your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, or your friend, it needs to have that tone of warmth. It needs to convey that you are genuinely fond of that person. So that warmth has to come through. उसके मार्क्स होते हैं एक्सप्रेशन में, उस पर ध्यान दिया जाता है. And then of course whatever is the matter. So the two letters that I'm going to show you will give you an idea about how really to structure it. I'll keep explaining that. And if you want more such letters, more such essays, more such grammar tests, more such notice and email tests, more such comprehension and summary tests, please go and check out the SWS language success test papers for ICSE class 9 and 10. You will be surprised to see the amount of material that is there. Quality material with answer key that will really prepare you for the board examinations. It will tell you, okay, it will show you the path कि इस तरह से लिखने से marks पूरे आ सकते हैं. And I'm telling this to you from experience because so many of our students over the past many years have scored 98 and 99 out of 100, which is possible in an English language paper. So why can't you? Okay, so I'm here to show you the path. Take advantage of that. So let's get started. I'll show you these two letters, one formal and one informal, so that you get a clear idea about how to approach the letter writing question. Okay, so this is as far as the formal and informal letters are concerned. I hope you are remembering the points that I've just now told you. Now let's go. Now this is the question. The bus shelter, or in some cases it is called the bus shelter, in some cases it is called the bus stop, where the place where it is not a bus station. It's not like the main bus station where sabhi buses aati hain. No, This is a bus shelter or a bus stop near your locality जहां पर बसें आती हैं, आप चढ़ते हैं, it goes to the next stop, right? Or you get off at that stop and you walk back home, right? So that is what is known as the bus stop or a bus shelter, right? In your locality, you find that it is in a bad condition, and that is putting commuters. Now, commuters is the formal language, right? To great inconvenience. Now, what the letter says is that please write a letter to the transport commissioner of your city, requesting him or her to get the bus shelter repaired and give suggestions on what needs to be done. So you need to give suggestions, and then you need to, before that, you need to tell what is wrong at that particular bus stop. You need to mention. So what do you start with? You write your address with the pin code. Compulsory, please do that. This can be in 2 lines. It could be in 2 or 3 lines. Okay, depends entirely on you. This Hyderabad could always have been in the 3rd line. Okay, not a problem. Then you will write the date like this. You could put a full stop or not put a full stop. Not really mandatory, but you could do that. Not a problem. I think in the specimen letter, that's how it is written. वैसे कोई लिखता नहीं है full stop उसके बाद. Then you will write the designation. The transport commissioner, the health secretary, the police commissioner. The is important, and this T has to be in capitals. Then you will write, in this case, since you're transport commissioner, Hyderabad Transport Corporation. Commission nahi hoga. Corporation. Please understand. That's why I keep insisting right from day one, read the newspaper so that you are familiar with these kind of organization names and titles. Then you can write, now this is not a real address, but it has to sound like it is a real address, and preferably try to keep the pin code of this, your residence address, and this address differently. Acha lagta hai, better lagta hai. Okay, so this is how you will write it. It can be in 4 lines, not a problem, because it's also talking about the designation of that officer. Dear sir, please, respected sir, nahi likhna. अगर लिखोगे तो मार्क्स कटेंगे. So unless you are very fond of losing marks, you should not write respected sir. It will be dear sir or dear madam. Okay. Now, in the first paragraph, introduce. You don't need to write your name. Write where you are writing from. I am a resident of Amirpet, and this has to match with your residence address, right? If you see, this is what is my locality name. So you're writing your locality name so that he's immediately able to picturize. Okay, it falls in the, let's say, the west zone of the city. Because every city or town is generally divided into administrative zones. So he'll immediately say, okay, I need to tell the local officer of the west zone to take care of this. This is to bring to your notice. Please use this kind of formal language. This is to bring to your notice, or this is to draw your attention to the bus shelter on Konda Reddy Street. तो अगर यहाँ पर अगर आप bring to your notice लिखेंगे तो that का इस्तेमाल करेंगे. This is to bring to your attention. This is to draw your attention to the bus shelter on Konda Reddy Street. So either of the 2 options, लेकिन the connecting word, the preposition or the connecting word has to be correct. In our locality is in bad condition and puts commuters to great inconvenience. I have taken the same language as it is in the question. That's how you write this. So immediately he knows, because in ICSE letters में subject नहीं लिखा जाता, right? तो इसलिए it is important that you write the reason why you are writing the letter in the first paragraph itself. Now, the second paragraph, you need to, now I have written 4 points. Even if you write 2 out of these 4 points, you will get marks. Okay, 2 problems need to be highlighted. I have written problem number 1, that the roof of the shelter is broken at several places and therefore it is a safety hazard. कि कभी भी नीचे टूट के नीचे गिर सकता है. दूसरी बात, because there is no roof, it provides no protection from the elements. Elements मतलब rain, sun. As a result, commuters find themselves exposed to rain and harsh sunlight. So you are pointing out, because of the roof, this is the problem. Okay, clearly he has understood what is the problem. So that clarity in your writing is extremely important. Then, second problem, the seats, where bus stop pe obviously seats hoti hain, the seats are torn at several places, leaving commuters with no place to sit while waiting for the bus. जब बस का इंतजार कर रहे होते हैं तब उनको बैठने की जगह नहीं मिलती है, so they have to stand. Two problems. Even if you write these two problems, that will be enough. I've given you 3 4 in case if you want to add to that. The railings are rusted. जो railings पकड़ने के लिए रहती हैं वो उसमें पूरी जंग लग गई है. They are rusted and it makes it difficult to hold them. The shelter also lacks lighting, making it unsafe for women commuters after dusk. Okay, so these are 4 different problems I mentioned. Even if you mention 2 or 3, perfectly all right. But in the suggestions in the 3rd paragraph, it's important that you give suggestions on how to address and take care of these problems. Now look at the tone. I would request. This word is very important. The word request. Okay, I want you to do it. No. You should do it. No. You must do it. No. You will not adopt this kind of a tone with the officer. So you have to use the word I would request you, or even if you don't write would, wo bhi chalega. I request you to arrange for repair of the roof, painting of the railings, and replacement of the seats at this bus shelter. Right? So you have mentioned all these 3 things which needs to be taken care of. That is, roof ko repair karo, railings ko paint karo, or seats ko replace karo. Lights may also be arranged at the shelter. May also be arranged. It doesn't mean ki tumhari marzi hai. You know, it's a polite way of saying lights should be bolo to it looks like an order. So lights may also be arranged at the bus shelter. It is a polite way of making this request. Then you make a larger point, and these kind of lines which I have written sound good. Regular audit of the maintenance. Audit का मतलब कि क्या बस शेल्टर मेंटेन हो रही है या नहीं. हर महीने एक ऑफिसर जाके उसकी जांच करेगा. He will go and supervise whether that bus shelter is being maintained properly or not, right, by the staff. So if you keep auditing that, it will help kind of, ensure that the bus shelter stays in a good condition. So regular audit of the maintenance of the bus shelter would ensure high standards are maintained by the transport system in our city. So the moment you're saying in our city, right? So you are kind of putting yourself in the same, on the same side that, he's interested in improving the transport system, the transport commissioner. You as a citizen, you as a commuter, you as a user of the same transport system, you are also having the same interest. So when you say in our city, it puts both of you on the same side and it gives a better feel. These small things make a difference, right? And then you say, I'm confident that you will do the needful at the earliest. I know कि मुझे कोई शक नहीं है. I'm very sure that you will do these things at the earliest. So I'm confident you will do the needful at the earliest. I'm anticipating a positive response. You end the letter. Yours faithfully, put your name. That's all you require. टेन आउट ऑफ 10 तुम्हारे. अगर 10 आउट ऑफ 10 चाहिए तो लेटर इस तरह से लिखो, फॉर्मल लेटर, राइट? सो you should prepare a set of formal letter topics, ideally speaking, right? Ideally speaking, and you will, if you go to our the success test papers, you will find, I think, half a dozen letters written by me. So you will get an idea about how to approach it. So you should prepare similar kind of topics on a variety of topics written to the police commissioner, to the minister, to the local corporator, to the principal, to the librarian, to the PT in charge, blah, 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 different topics, so that if you go preparing the points, aapka kaam examination hall mein kam ho jayega. You will not have to exert your mind thinking about what points you will need to this thing. So on a variety of topics, think of what all points you could use, right? So you would actually be doing your homework even before you have stepped into the examination hall. Now let's look at the informal letter. What should be your approach? You borrowed a book from your friend, but while it was with you, it has been damaged. How terrible. Write a letter to your friend apologizing for your mistake. So this is very important. This is the basic background, and explain to your friend what damage has been done, how it happened, and write how you will make up for it. So इसमें 4-5 points हैं. राइट? एक तो बैकग्राउंड बताना है, देन सॉरी बोलना है, देन उसको ये बताना है कि क्या डैमेज हुआ है, कैसे हुआ, और इसकी आप भरपाई कैसे करेंगे. हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू कॉम्पनसेट योर फ्रेंड फॉर द डैमेज डन टू हिज और हर बुक. ओके, एड्रेस, डेट, एंड हियर माय डियर द नेम ऑफ द फ्रेंड. यहां पर XYZ वगैरह मत करना, नाम लिख के आना. Straight away, if you see my letter, you get into the letter straight away. इसमें I hope I am doing very well. I hope. अरे तुम उसको गलती बताने के लिए, तुम्हारी गलती बताने के लिए कर रहे हो, इसमें हालचाल पूछने की जरूरत नहीं है. सो इसमें इस तरह से लिख सकते हैं, आई एम राइटिंग टू यू विद अ हेवी हार्ट, कि मुझे बहुत दुख हो रहा है ये लेटर लिखते हुए, टू एड्रेस ए मैटर, और जिसमें मेरे को सॉरी बोलने की जरूरत है, दैट रिक्वायर्स माई सिंसियर अपॉलजी. Right? So it shows that you are really feeling sorry for what has happened. You would recall that I had borrowed, you will write the name of the book written by Shashi Tharoor. The book has unfortunately suffered some damage while it was in my possession, and I feel truly sorry for the situation. Right? So you have apologized for it. How it happened? The damage occurred when I was reading the book while drinking coffee. Suddenly, my pet Milo jumped on me, spilling the beverage on the book. I take full responsibility for this mishap and understand the importance of treating borrowed items with care and respect. Because ऐसा नहीं है कि that I was being careless, but it was a mishap. You know, I didn't expect that my pet dog would jump on me at that time and the coffee would spill on the book. I deeply regret any inconvenience and disappointment this may cause you. Right? This is obviously caused you. So what has happened is that the beverage has been spilled on the book. Here you could add one more line, that the pages have been soiled. You could add that also. Okay, what has been the nature of the damage, you could write that also. In order to make amends, now how are you going to make up for it? In order to make amends, I've already placed an order for the book on Amazon. It is likely to be delivered to your address by Thursday. So सीधा आपको पहुंच जाएगा. I did not wish to return a stained book. No, the book has become stained. You're repeating that, as that would be in poor taste. I understand that as a bibliophile. Bibliophile is someone who is very fond of reading books, collection of books, etc. You keep your books in very good condition and they hold a sentimental value for you, and I respect that sentiment, right? So you are kind of reinforcing that, you know, aisa nahi hai ki that I am not aware of what this book means to you. So I'm ordering a new book because this book is not in a condition in which I would wish to return to you, because that would not be the right way to do. So you see, the whole tone is one of regret. It is also one of giving him respect for the fact that he's a lover of books. It is also kind of conveying the sense of warmth that, you know, you and I are close friends. So, you know, I don't want an episode like this to create differences between us. Otherwise, he'll think, अरे मैंने उसको book दी थी और गंदी सी book मेरे को वापस कर दी उसने, right? Sorry बोल दिया, क्या फायदा? Once again, I apologize for my lapse in responsibility, right? And I would appreciate your understanding in this matter. That, you know, I would appreciate if you kind of not say, you know, not forgive, because forgive is a very heavy word. That you, I hope you understand कि किस वजह से हुआ और what I'm doing in order to make amends for it. So this is how you close the informal letter, right? I hope these two instances have provided clarity, because many of you have been asking me ki formal or informal letter mein what are the things that we need to take care of. Many of you have been asking me things like, you know, whether whether there should be a gap between this and this, between this and this. See, if your handwriting is very huge, where your D ka upar ka dandi is hitting the H ka niche ka dandi, then you leave a space so that there is clarity. Basically, you need to make it easy for the examiner to read your letter or essay or anything that you write. Any answer you write, it should be easy for it, because many of you write like, you know, slanting and, you know, ye D jaake is pe touch hota hai and all that. Then you leave a gap so that it's absolutely clear. Otherwise, these things do not add or subtract marks for you. But yes, अगर कोई शब्द ऐसा होगा, if there is a word which the examiner is unable to understand, then he will say कि मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया तो मैंने इसके आधे मार्क काट दिए, ये एक मार्क काट दिया, right? If it is a critical word. So you need to ensure that your handwriting, I'm not saying you need to have absolutely beautiful handwriting, but your handwriting needs to be legible, it needs to be tidy, and please don't cut too much. You know, a page where too many words are cut leaves a very poor impression. It shows that the student is not having clarity of thought. it shows that the student is not very clear in what he or she wants to write, which is why he or she is very confused and constantly cutting and scribbling on, upper niche he's scribbling, right? So please ensure that you have the sentence in your mind with clarity, and then you put your pen to paper, not write and then cut it and then go back. No, that kind of is not a very happy impression to give to the examiner, right? I hope this gives you clarity. Thank you very much. Tata, bye bye. God bless you.